Horry and Georgetown counties, we welcome you back to Sound Off. Again, Sound Off is heard weekly on your favorite radio station. It's always our goal at Sound Off to deal with topics that are relevant to you, the community, and relevant to our young people. Again, tomorrow is Mother's Day, and we're really excited to have as our very special guest, Mrs. Rose Rock. Y'all give it up once again for Mrs. Rose Rock. Mama Rock. And Mama Rock, you really do rock. We appreciate you being here on this morning.
Oh, I love it. I told the kids I was coming, had to be here. And I can't even walk today,
That's
and I'm
right.
here.
Having a little bit of issues with your back, but nevertheless,
Oh, yes.
you're here, and we really appreciate it. Sound Off team, would you like to reintroduce yourselves at this time?
Good morning again. This is Demazio.
Hello, it's Tyrell.
What's really good is Jonica.
Good morning, I'm Ariel.
And before we went into break, DJ,
Yes, ma'am.
DJ, you had a thought-provoking question. Let's hear it again.
Okay, well, from the last segment, I said women were to be seen and not heard. I've always heard that statement pretty much my whole entire life, basically. And I was wondering, in reference to Mother's Day, comparing today's women to those of yesterday, how true is that statement?
That's good.
That's really good. And first of all, I think the term used to be children are to be seen and not heard. But as far as women are concerned, women in the older days were supposed to be more conservative, were supposed to be more demure, and were supposed to, like, put the man first. But I'm going to go back to biblical time.
All right.
There is a scripture, I think it's the 31st Psalm, that talks about the virtuous woman. And that woman was a Renaissance woman.
All right.
Because not only did she take care of her family, she did real estate, she did everything. And she was such a phenomenal woman that her husband, he walked with pride, and all the men were envious. And when he went, say he was going to the sports bar, all the men were like, wow, because his woman was the epitome of what a woman should be. Her children were well dressed. Her home was always immaculate. In the winter, everything was taken care of. So that thought that women are supposed to be seen and not heard is ludicrous. First of all, because we have always been the one that was able to go out, make the bacon, bring it home, cook it, and serve it. And we still are that and more.
All right. Terrell, what did you have?
That was great. Miss Rock. Okay, I know. Like you said, like Ms. Scofield said earlier, tomorrow is Mother's Day. I know all the mothers gonna wake up with a smile on their face, expect a bed and breakfast, placed on the bed when they wake up.
That's right.
No.
Don't get that twisted. Don't get it twisted.
Of course.
Absolutely.
And so I was just wondering, to a mother, like I want to hear from a mother's word, because I've always heard from other people, never from a mother. What does mother really mean to you? Like, just like all your years of taking care of your children, helping provide for your family and everything. What does Mother's Day really mean to you?
Okay, what does Mother's Day? The thing is, I've always wanted to be a mom, so maybe I have a little different insight on it than a lot of people. Even as a kid, I knew that I wanted to be a mother. I always knew I wanted a large family. I knew the kind of husband I wanted. I knew from my dad what kind of husband I wanted. And I have been so privileged that I was able to find that man to raise those kids, my own children, and a whole bunch of other children came through my house. So my instinct has always been to mother, but the day, what it means to me, it's not about so much the gifts. Of course, we love the gifts. And I love, I think when my children were small, it was better. Now they're all successful, and they can buy stuff. They can actually go out and just buy anything, and they can send me on trips, and they can buy a car. They can do that kind of stuff. But what I loved was when they would bring their handprint home on something,
Yes.
or the first time that Chris had a little job. They used to always try to make me breakfast. And I remember the first time he had like $3 or something, because McDonald's back in my day, you could buy a burger and fries and a drink for $1 and get change back. Yeah, that was the whole thing. Yes. But
Bring it
I
back.
remember the first time he had just started driving and he had a few dollars, and they went to McDonald's and brought me breakfast in bed. So those things, those days are much more heartfelt than now. The little
yeah.
things count so much more because they had to make a way to do this, and now it's simple as writing a check or picking up the phone and having something delivered.
Right.
I mean, it's the thought, always is the thought. But yeah, I liked it when they were little better. But what it means to me is that I raised a bunch of really good kids, and not only the ones that I gave birth to. So that's a feeling. Oh my God, that's a magnificent feeling.
And what is the total? Like 17?
With my birth children, 7 birth children, 3 given children, 22 foster children.
All right. Now y'all know why Mama rocks. I'm telling you. We're celebrating you for Mother's Day. Jonica, what did you have, sweetie?
Now, you were talking about how the big family and stuff, which of course I would like. I don't know if I'm gonna have 7. 3 is a good number. But what about those women like me who inspire for big careers but still want that family? Because my fear of me wanting to be a broadcaster is, since all the traveling, I won't have that opportunity. Like, and with today's opportunities for women, do you think it's still possible to be that working woman dedicated to her job, but also have that loving family feel?
You know, people will tell you you can't have it all. You can have it all within reason. Within reason. And the thing is this, I worked, as a matter of fact, I went to school after I had 4 children. I got my degrees after I had my children. I worked as a preschool and special ed teacher. But we always try to balance, and that's the whole thing, finding a balance. You don't have to give up being who you are for your children. That's the saddest thing. I mean, if you want to be a stay-at-home mom, of course, that's wonderful if you want to be that. But who says that you can't go out to work every day once you've made the proper arrangements for your children and do whatever you want to do? There were years that I stayed home, that I definitely wanted to be home. I wanted to put them on the bus. I wanted to do whatever. But when I started teaching, I was able to put them on the bus in the morning, get in my car, go to work. When I came on my block in the afternoon, their bus would be coming in to the block. So it's all about balance. It's all about balance and finding that right person in your life, that life partner that will help you to grow. I'm not going to use the word allow, because a man can't allow you to do anything. But that man that would be by your side and help you to grow into whatever you want to grow into. And you have to have a balance. When I walked in the house in the morning, when I walked out of the house in the morning, my husband was coming in because he worked nights. So when I got up and I walked downstairs, he would have my coffee ready, my newspaper. I walked out, got in my car. When I went to bed at night, he was getting ready to go to work. And we did that for a number of years. But that way, our house was always covered. Our children never came home to an empty house. We always had it covered. So you find a way to balance. And listen, don't let anybody tell you you can't have it all. You can have it all and some.
All right.
Okay. Earlier you mentioned that even though the value of mothers are staying the same, like the role of mothers are changing. So what do you think the role of mothers should be?
The first role of mothering is, as a mother, is to mother.
That's right.
That is the first role. The first role is to be there wholeheartedly for your child. You don't put a friend, you don't put a man, you don't put a job, you don't put anything in front of your children. And this is especially something that bothers me with single mothers. It really, really
And I know you
bothers
talked
me.
about that in your book, Mama Rocks, about I'm your mother, not your friend. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, that statement was just that mothers want to be friends with their children, and you can't be a friend and a mother. But your role as a mother is that you have to be the one in charge. You have to make the hard decisions, and you have to always do what's right for your child, even though sometimes it may not be what you want to do. You, you make decisions. You know you can't go out and party if you have a newborn baby. You know you can't hang out with the girls if you have a baby. Some things have to take the back side while you mother your children. But the thing is this, and I try to tell women this all the time, children grow up. They do grow up. Just hang in there for a little while. They grow up. I know someone that got a divorce from a very good man because he wanted to be home with his children. I thought that was the dumbest thing I'd ever heard in my life. I could tell you the name, but I won't.
Don't.
But they actually divorced because he was so concerned with what his children did and whatnot. And she divorced him. And my daughter-in-law tried to tell her, the kids are going to grow up, and then you're going to be on a second honeymoon. But, it's what your priorities are. You want to party, you can't do that when you have children.
I want to go back to, and I think having a 20-year-old, I'm seeing the difference. I know like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I'm seeing the difference in my child at 20. And I know, I do agree. I don't think during that time you cannot be friends because it's such a molding period and you're trying to make sure that you're leading by example and trying to teach them right from wrong and then the values, morals, and standards. But would you agree or disagree as that child gets older, you do develop a better relationship where you can then become friends as they get older?
Yeah. When children mature, the feelings you have for them mature. And yeah, you can become friends, but you're always the mother.
Right, absolutely.
You're always, Chris is 47 years old. When he walks in my house, he's just another child.
That's right.
And it's my house, and it's still my rules. When I would go away and come home to visit my dad with my children, I was my father's daughter, first and foremost. And the rules of his house were still in place.
Okay, I do agree with that. Jonica, did you have something, sweetie?
I did, but y'all basically just covered that. The statement of, I don't care how old you get, I'm your mother. My mother is forever telling me, I don't care how old you get, big you get, if I got to get a ladder to slap you in the face, I'll do it.
And she will do it.
And she will do it. She'll do it now. My mama kicks me. I'm going to tell on her. I know. I was beating Schofield to the whole, don't tell on your mama, I'm going to do it.
She just told
I'm
her.
a snitch.
She
You
heard it.
told on your mother.
But Ms. Rock, let's go back. The fact that it's Mother's Day on tomorrow, I mean, we talked about it, and I really appreciate you giving the information where we are trying to give vital information so the mothers could understand our rightful role and understand what we should be doing. But let's celebrate some of the good things that we are doing.
Ooh, what are we doing
And I think
right?
we're doing a lot right.
I think so too. I think that we're finally, we're taking our places as women, and we're understanding now that we have to be strong for our children. We also, and see, it's so many of us that's the breadwinners for our children too. But the thing is, we are asking for respect. We're asking for help. A lot of us didn't do that. We're trying now to lead by example a little more. And one of the things too is we're not stuck in this thing that I can't go out and get my own. I think some of us are getting sick and tired of being sick and tired. And so we're finally saying, you know what? I've got to make arrangements for myself. I can't sit here and wait for that man to come. One of the things black women learned a long time ago, ain't nobody coming on a charger. That night is not coming. He's not coming to slay your dragons. You got to get your knife and slay your own dragons. And just realizing that has made us more independent.
Okay. All right. So when we come back, I want to talk about, you talked about the virtuous woman. So let's talk about another scripture says, he who findeth a wife findeth a good thing. So let's talk about women being in a position to be found.
Okay.
Horry and Georgetown counties, you're listening to Sound Off, and we'll be right back.